Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Manchester United versus Leicester FA Cup quarter-final preview. A lot to get through in the hour or so that we're going to be live, and I'm hoping that you guys will stay with me to the very end and get your voice heard as well in the live chat or the comment section down below if you haven't already. Leave me your predictions, any thoughts going into the game. Always like to interact with the comments, so please do leave your thoughts in the comment section down below on anything to do with the game or even not with the game. Who cares? Doesn't matter at all. I love interacting with you guys, so anything you guys want to put in the comment section below, as long as it's not abusive, absolutely go for it. But also hit that like button if you aren't already, and subscribe to the channel as well if you are new. Thanks for 870 subscribers now, really do appreciate it. We're pushing on to 900 as soon as we possibly can, so anything you guys can do to help us out with that would be absolutely amazing. But let's get straight into this preview, and I see Jamie's joining us. Always good to see you. Jamie says, evening, tough game tomorrow. Leicester have injuries, but we do too. It'll be a close one, but we should go through. And I think that's the underlying message. You know, we should win this game. We should go through. Adam as well joining. Thanks for joining, Adam. Appreciate it. He says Bailly is leaving. I'm not sure if that's what I've heard, to be honest. I haven't really heard that. Well, I haven't really heard much on Bailly's future, other than actually, I think I heard a few weeks ago that there was some sort of contract negotiations going on. So I don't know what's going to happen with Bailly's future, to be honest. I really don't. But I hope he stays, because I think he is probably one of our best centre-backs of the club. I had said previously that he was the best centre-back of the club, but when you're in and out of the team, it's hard really to say that you are. But, you know, still, he's done very, very well for us where he has performed, so I think he'd be a great squad player at the very least, if not even a starting player. Lennox, thanks for joining, Lennox. Appreciate it. He says, a tough match. However, I think United will win. I think you pretty well summed up my prediction already in the first kind of 2 minutes of the stream. I think that's pretty well what I'm looking at. It's going to be tough. There's no doubt about it. You know, there's a reason why Leicester are sitting third in the league. You know, the reason why they... You know, we haven't beaten them this season. You know, they drew with us at the King Power. Yes, they got a bit lucky with that, really. We should have won that game if we actually took our chances. But nevertheless, there's a reason why they have such a good record against the top sides in the Premier League. And you know, it's going to be very, very tough. It's going to be very, very tough, especially with the injuries we've got. And as Jamie mentioned, you know, even though they've got a few injuries as well, we've got some injuries. And it's going to be very, very tough because Brendan Rodgers, even though he hasn't won too many domestic trophies in his time in English management, he's still a decent coach. He's still a decent coach, no doubt about it. Yeah, as Jamie says here, Martial, Rashford, Cavani, all out. So our forward line is probably going to look like Diallo, James and Mason Greenwood through the middle. So whether you like it or not, that's probably what Solskjaer is going to be forced to play. He doesn't really have too many options. But obviously the good news is that the Pogba's back, and Pogba obviously had a great performance in the San Siro, and hopefully he can do that again against Leicester tomorrow evening. But let's talk about Leicester a bit, because we always start these previews by talking about the opposition. And Leicester, of course, I don't need to talk too much about how good they are, because you can just see by where they are in the league and the way they've been playing football under Brendan Rodgers that they're going to be a very difficult test. As I said before, currently third in the league. I've got some impressive scalps this season, beating Liverpool 3-1. I mean, you could argue whether that's impressive or not, but you know, the champions being the champions 3-1, beating Spurs as well. You know, Leicester have had a very good season this season, there's no doubt about it. Obviously went out in the Europa League, which some might say would hinder them because it obviously dents their confidence, but in other ways you could argue it helps Leicester because they know now that the FA Cup is the be-all and end-all really for them in terms of trophies this season. Yet, really, they're push to stay in the top four. It obviously means a lot more to them because they want to get that Champions League spot. But at the same time, in terms of trophies, the FA Cup is the last remaining trophy that they can win. So they're going to go out to win it. They're going to try their very best. And so that's why I'm expecting a very, very difficult game tomorrow night. And as we talked about as well, we couldn't beat them. You know, we went to the King Power and we probably should have beaten them, but we didn't. And they've got some very, very, decent players that, take chances if you give them chances to take. So we've got to be really careful. That's all I'm saying. We've got to be very, very careful indeed. Obviously, Iheanacho scored a hat-trick in their last Premier League game as well. They're a decent outfit. I can't say much more about that. And I think one of the key battles as well I want to mention is the midfield battle, because they've got Ndidi and Tielemans, two midfielders in there who can really dominate games. Tielemans more so going forward, and Ndidi can do the mopping up at the back. Now, both players are going to be vital to Leicester if they are going to win, but Tielemans is a massive one. As Lennox says right on cue, Tielemans is a baller. He is. Tielemans is a fantastic midfielder, someone who I actually thought we should have looked at maybe a few summers ago. I thought he was brilliant for Anderlecht when we played them in the Europa League, and it turned out to be a brilliant player, not just for Leicester, but also for Belgium as well. He's been brilliant for his national team, but I think everyone knew he was going to be that good, but he's someone who had a brilliant week last week in the Premier League, and just dictates the play, makes Leicester tick. I know it's a little bit of a cliche, but he makes Leicester tick. He makes them tick, and to have someone like Ndidi behind him as well gives you that real stability to go forward with a lot of confidence that the players behind you can help up and mop up any mistakes behind. And obviously those two are the guys we've got to watch out for. And in terms of this midfield battle, those are the guys we've got to watch out for. Now, our midfield on paper arguably is stronger than theirs. To have Bruno Fernandes, Paul Pogba, McTominay and Fred, those guys, and even Matic as well. Our midfield options on paper are stronger than theirs, but they've got some decent midfielders, and if we can win that midfield battle and stop the balls going into the likes of Vardy and Iheanacho, we should be alright. We should be alright, because that's how they create the most of their chances. But if we let Tielemans have a free rein, if we let Ndidi do his job and we don't get on top of him, it's going to be difficult for us to break them down, and not only break them down, but stop them from scoring. So that's, for me, the biggest battle is the midfield battle. Jamie's lineup says Henderson, Wan-Bissaka, Maguire, Bailly, Shaw, Fred, McTominay, Diallo, Fernandes, James and Greenwood is what he would go with. Obviously, we've got a few injuries of our own as well, so I think Bailly coming back in, obviously Lindelof and Maguire did a superb job in Milan on Thursday night, but Bailly, obviously there is definite potential for Bailly to come back in. I think Diallo has to come back in as well, especially with Rashford and Martial both injured. The front three is pretty well, self-explanatory. I think with the injuries we've got, we can't choose many other players, to be honest. Obviously, you've got the choice of whether you play Fernandes and Pogba or whether you just play Fernandes. And I think Solskjaer will probably play the McFred unit because, realistically, this is a big game against a big team that can hurt us. So, Ole always looks to go to the safe option in these sort of games. So I wouldn't be surprised if he goes back to McTominay, Fred and Fernandes and leaves Pogba on the bench. TTX Productions, thanks for joining TTX. Always good to hear from you, mate. He says, let's go Leicester, bring it on. I love that. I love that from you, mate. I love that. We've got to relish these big games, and it is a massive game. It's a chance to go to Wembley, yet another semi-final, and I really want to get to the semi-final because a lot's been said about Ole in semi-finals, and the more semi-finals we play, the more chances Ole will have to get over that hurdle. And once we get over that hurdle, once we get over that mental block, I think we could look at being successful, but when you have that hurdle of just not being able to get over that semi-final hoodoo, I think it just really is a mental block for the players and for Solskjaer. So we need to get over the line. We need to get over the line in this game, get to Wembley and put our foot down. Mr. Boba Django's joined us as well. Thanks for joining. Appreciate it. He says, good evening. All must-win game tomorrow. The oil spill is spreading at a quadruple rate potentially. Yeah, exactly. Obviously talking about Man City there. We need to stop the quadruple. Simple as that. The FA Cup has become a little bit, Man City's trophy recently. Man City and Arsenal have been sharing the honours in the FA Cup, and obviously the EFL Cup has already gone to Man City. So it's not looking good for us really. The league's pretty well gone. They've already got the EFL Cup. I mean, they're probably on for at least a treble this year, at least a treble. So we've got to stop Man City from doing that. And if we can win the trophy that they don't, more the better. So that's what we've got to look at doing. But yeah, very, very important point you made there, Mr. Boba Django, of course. Jamie says, Danny Welbs just scored a worldie against Newcastle. Love to hear it. That guy Welbs scoring a goal. He's back amongst the goals. To be fair, he's a decent, not a bad signing for Brian. I mean, one thing I have noticed, he does miss a few big chances, but you know what? He's still got that quality. United born and bred, mate. United born and bred. And Ashley, MUFC, thanks for joining. Ashley, appreciate it. He says, finish second, win a trophy or two. I'll take that at the end because the title long gone, unfortunately. I think, to be fair, you're not alone in thinking that. I think most United fans would say that the title's pretty well gone, and Man City can pretty well be booking their title celebrations and parade already. I mean, we have to just call a spade in this situation. But I think if we finish second and win a trophy, it won't be a bad season. It really won't be a bad season. But we need to build on it. And I think the biggest thing is backing Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in the summer. Did we really see that this summer with the signings we brought in? That's obviously quite debatable. But we need to properly back Ole with the guys he wants. Because realistically, if we don't do that, we're going to find ourselves in the exact same position that we find ourselves now. As simple as that. Simple as that. And Lennox says winning a trophy is imperative. Listen, I think a lot of people are going to get on Solskjaer's back if he doesn't start winning trophies. This is nearly his third full season at Manchester United, or kind of getting close to that anyway. And Manchester United is built on winning trophies. This is the longest that we've ever gone without winning a trophy, I think. So, it's United fans are going to start really kind of baying for blood on that front if we don't start winning trophies, because even though you could argue it's a little bit of entitlement on our part, at the same time, our club's built on winning trophies. We're used to success, and we feel like we've got the squad to deliver that success. And if we don't deliver it, if Solskjaer can't deliver it, then I'm afraid we need to get someone in who can, in my opinion. By the way, I will be getting people on. Don't worry, Adam. I will definitely be getting people on in a bit. No problem. TTX says, mixed offer no creative. McFred offer no creativity or even basic passing. We need to bring in Zakaria, a ball-playing DM. That's a mobile and fast. Yeah, I think, Zakaria, I've looked at him, he seems like a really decent player to put in that position. And that's the one thing I have noticed. I 100% agree with you. I think you hit the nail on the head. Is that, the problem with McFred is that, yes, defensively, they seem really strong. I actually thought in the second half in the San Siro, they were both pretty decent at breaking up the play. But one thing is for certain is that if you play McFred and Fernandes, if Fernandes has a bad game, there's just no creativity whatsoever from either of them. And, McTominay can score. He offers a bit more of a goal threat. But in terms of that final pass, that killer ball that you need to set up a chance, he's just Fred, really. So, that is one thing that I totally agree, is that when both, McFred and McFred are playing and it's only Fernandes in there, we do lose that creativity, especially if Fernandes isn't playing well. If you play Pogba and Fernandes and drop one of Fred and McTominay, then at least if Fernandes isn't having a bad game, or at least if Fernandes is having a bad game, Pogba can pick up the slack, and vice versa. And I think that's a really, really good system to have, because we've seen in games this season where we've started with McTominay, Fred, and Fernandes, and then Fernandes is off the boil. He's not having a great game, and we look poor going forward. For example, if we hadn't have subbed on Paul Pogba in the San Siro, there's no way we'd be talking about a Europa League quarter-final. There's absolutely no way, because in that first half, we were dreadful. It was a dreadful first half from us. And, Pogba came on, we looked a lot more fluid going forward. We just seem a lot better in the midfield as well. And I think that is something that is good, but it's also slightly worrying considering Paul Pogba might be leaving Manchester United in the summer. So we'll see how that one plays out. Adam says, we need to win a trophy, FA Cup or Europa League. I couldn't agree more, mate. I couldn't agree more. And Mr. Boba Django says, trophies are for ego managers only. Yeah, to be fair, as a fan of a football club, I would like to see my team win trophies. I mean, I don't want to be like Spurs, who just, were finishing in the top four, or even Arsenal, who for 21 years finished in the top four, and everyone said that was a massive achievement. And to be fair, since they lost Wenger, they haven't actually finished in the top four. But that's a debate for a different time. But in terms of football, it's about winning trophies. It's about success, and especially for Manchester United fans, we were built on success. We were built on winning trophies, and it's very difficult to kind of let that go just because there's Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in charge. So we do need to start winning trophies. Yes, we are making progress, and I've got no doubt about that. I'm one of the people that do say that we are making progress under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. But you need to have something at the end of the tunnel. There needs to be a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. And if we can win a trophy this season, that'll hopefully be a launch pad, a catalyst for more trophies in the future. But right now, we can't even get past the semi-final, so we've got to do that first. And in this FA Cup run, it'll be a massive, massive opportunity, but we've got to get past Leicester first. Ashley says, McTominay only scores bangers. Facts. Also, think a midfielder Pogba, Bruno and McTominay could be good next season if Pogba stays. And that is a big if, to be honest, especially if you believe all the rumours that have been going around this season. But if Pogba stays, I think he will bolster our midfield options. But yeah, I think McTominay does offer more going forward than someone like Fred. I think, it's just fact by now. But I think Fred plays the role of kind of breaking up play a bit better than McTominay does. So if you could mix both of them into a player, I think that'd be a very, very good midfielder. But I think they both do slightly different jobs. But I think, especially in that first half in the San Siro, they were poor. They were so off it, man. They were so off it. But yeah. Jamie says Pogba won't start tomorrow. Ollie said he'll get at least half an hour again. Can't rush him back. Got big games coming up in the league. You know what? That's a fair point. And if Ollie has said that, and to be honest with you, I should have done my research going into this, but if Ollie has said that, then I can't argue with him too much. I think Pogba does need to play a role because I can see us starting with the same team that we played in Milan and having the same problems of no creativity. I can see that. So I wouldn't be surprised if Pogba come on. I would not be surprised if Pogba comes on and does the same sort of job. But as long as he has a role, because I think after that Milan performance, it's very difficult to drop him. It's very, very difficult to drop him. But if he is coming back from an injury, I like that approach. I mean, I wish he could have done it with Rashford instead of rushing him back, and now Rashford obviously is sidelined. I wish he could have done that with Rashford, but unfortunately, I digress. Mr. Bobajango says, I understand what Ollie was getting out, but he doesn't help himself sometimes. Yeah, I think Ollie doesn't help himself at certain times. I 100% agree. I think, for example, substitutions. I think sometimes in games he makes substitutions far too late. And also, I think this is the first time I think he's only made one sub in his last 2 games in all competitions. Now, obviously, I don't want him just to make subs for the sake of it. I'd rather him look at the game situation and make subs depending on what he thinks is needed. And if he doesn't think any subs are needed, then that's fair enough, right? But realistically, sometimes in games, you can see something's not working, or we're just not gelling, or something's not working on the pitch, and he doesn't change it until the 80th minute. And you're thinking, if we made that change even 5-10 minutes ago, we would have had a real chance of getting something more out of the game. But that's happened a few times this season. I have to call it out, really. Dazza, thanks for joining. Really appreciate it. Make sure you check out Dazza's Football Stand as well if you haven't already. Brilliant content over there. And also, Jamie says here, if this squad can win a trophy together, it'll be massive for us moving forward. Totally agree. As I said, it'll be a stepping stone, hopefully, a catalyst, if you will, from future trophies. Because if these guys can come together and win something, then as a group, they'll obviously be a lot more close-knit, and they'll have a lot more belief. And I think this group already has a little bit more belief than we've seen in past United teams. But it's just about getting over the line now. It's just about getting over the line and getting over that mental barrier. Dazza says, a crucial game for United season. Trophy would be ideal, but we'll bottle the semi if we get City. It'll be a difficult semi, trust me. And in cup competitions against Man City, we have an awful record. Just an awful record. In the EFL Cup especially, even though, yes, the EFL Cup is basically the Man City trophy. We have a terrible record against City in cup competitions. But, in the FA Cup, we need to change that. And if we do get City, so be it. We've got to come toe to toe with them and do what we did at the Etihad, and we just have to play well. That's all I can say. Adam says, a fun fact: I became a United fan in 2015 when I was 6. My dad's a huge United fan, and my uncle got me a Liverpool jersey. He throws it in the bin and said if I was a Liverpool fan, he would disown me. A bit harsh, but in some ways on a United channel, I have to say that's fair. I have to say it's absolutely fair. But your dad was right for getting you in as a United fan, mate. Trust me. It's almost a bit of jeopardy there. You were so close going down the wrong path. But luckily, you stayed on the light. You stayed following the light. Della says, crucial game for United season. I've already read that one out. I do apologise. He also says, playing Rashi against Milan was a joke. It turned out to be a bit of a joke. If it's a joke, it's not a funny one. It's not a funny joke because Rashford's obviously out and probably will be out for quite a long time because, Ole rushed him back. And let's face it, even though Rashford's not having the better seasons, and I will say that, Rashford has been under the radar, and, even though he is going to be out, we have got Diallo coming in, so it's not the end of the world. But, to play Rashford in that game, when we all knew he had an injury, we all knew Rashford wasn't fully fit, he puts him in, and it's really frustrating. It really, really is frustrating, but we have to deal with it now. We have to deal with it, and Lennox says, have to go. Prediction 2-1 United. Cheers for joining, Lennox. Appreciate it. Good to see you, buddy. Good to see you. But 2-1 United. Hey, I'll take that. I'll take that all day long. As Big Rom says, thanks for joining, Big Rom. Good to see you, my friend. As he says there, must-win game. All of you guys have been saying it in the live chat. It's a must-win game for Manchester United. Not just because it's a knockout game. Not just because if we don't win it, we're going to go out. But because we need a trophy. So Ole needs a trophy to validate what's been happening in Manchester United. Yes, we've seen a little bit of progress in terms of results. Obviously, we're second in the league, but we need to see the trophies now. As we said, we're built on success. We're built on winning trophies. Ole needs to deliver a trophy, and the first thing we need to do is get past Leicester, so then we can actually get into a semi-final and actually get past the semi-final, because we have been struggling to do that. So maybe we should be looking at baby steps, but at the same time, we need that trophy. As United fans, some people will say we're entitled, but we're hungry for trophies. We're hungry for trophies. We all have that mentality, that winner's mentality, because we've been brought up on it. We've been brought up on winning trophies, and this is too long to go without a trophy at Manchester United. The standard should be up here. The standard should be up here. And if we keep bottling semi-finals and quarter-finals, it's going to get very, very, very annoying. It's going to get very, very taxing. And it already is. Dazza says, Oil Club were lucky. Obviously, Man City, yeah. They went through 2-0 in the end, didn't they? But listen, all I'm going to say is, their bench cost 500 million. That pretty well tells you how good they are, and just how difficult it is going to be to knock them off their perch, because right now they've won 3 leagues in 4 seasons, and I don't see them letting up anytime soon. I really don't see them letting up anytime soon. Jamie says, Cavani just can't keep himself fit. He won't be offered a new contract. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think he will be offered a new contract. I think that, especially when you're 36 years old, it's difficult to see someone that injury prone, getting another renewal. I just don't see it. I don't think he's been that bad this season. He's popped up with some important goals. Obviously, the one in the Carabao Cup, quarter-final. Was it the Carabao Cup quarter-final? It was an important goal, and he has scored some very important. The Southampton game, for example, scoring 2 goals to turn the game around. But if he is going to be that injury prone, I don't see a point in keeping him. I really don't see a point. Big Rom says puts in his predicted 11, or the team he'd go for, sorry. Henderson, Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, Maguire, Shaw, Matic, Fred, Van der Beek, Bruno, Greenwood and Martial. If Martial's fit, to be fair, it wouldn't be the worst option, because especially with Rashford being out injured, we need the likes of Martial to come back. We really, really do. Van der Beek as well. I like the fact you've put Van der Beek in. I haven't actually seen a predicted 11 or an 11 recently that actually has had Van der Beek in, because we've seen Van der Beek being on the bench, and it's getting sad, man. It actually is getting sad seeing Van der Beek sitting on the bench week in, week out. But I think in this game, he definitely has a role to play. I would not be surprised if he gets put in. And, I think at some point we've got to start using Van der Beek properly, because especially with, Pogba coming back from injury, Fernandes, he's been a little bit off the boil recently. Van der Beek has definitely got a role to play. I actually like that. That lineup, I do like it. Obviously, Henderson back in goal. There's a potential for De Gea to come back, obviously, but I see what you're saying with Henderson. I actually think recently he's not been too bad. Ashley says, we need to start winning semi-finals / trophies, because when we lost 3 semi-finals, there was a fact that said Fellaini had a better semi-final record than Bruno, and we can't have that. yeah, well, we've got to put it right. In the end of the day, we've got to put it right because, you know, it's all well and good having this progress. And listen, I think there has been progress under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. There's no doubt about it. But, you know, we need to start delivering trophies. We have to start delivering trophies. You know, as I said before, and I'll say numerous times again, I'm sure, we are built on trophies. As a club, we are built on winning trophies. And it's been too long without one. Let's face it, the last time we won a trophy was in Jose Mourinho's first season. That's almost 4 years ago now. So we need to start winning trophies. We need to start getting over semi-finals. And I do back this team to do that. But we've got to perform. We've got to perform on the big stage. Mr. Bobajango says, I miss you, Big Rom, but your attitude did let us down. But your attitude did let us down. You in the end, and too much strawberry cheesecake. I don't know what that's meant to say. But Big Rom here says Van der Beek is one of my favourite players. Would be far better in the I can't read. Van der Beek is one of my favourite players. We'd be a far better team with him playing regularly. I mean, he's a quality player. There's no doubt about it. You know, he is a quality player, and realistically, the fact he's been sitting on the bench is criminal. And I understand that Ole might not rate him as a player, but it's clear to see that he's a quality talent. You know, it's clear to see. But I don't know what's going to happen with him. I don't know whether he's going to go out on loan if Ole tells him he's not going to get game time. I don't know. I really don't know. But what is for certain is I want to see him play more. And I think most United fans want to see him play more. RJ, thanks for joining, RJ. Appreciate it. Make sure to check out his channel as well. Brilliant stuff over there. And he's also just got up to 7.5k subs. So congratulations, RJ. Really good to see that. Really good to see. And he also says, I can't stay long, but I'm going to drop a bomb. De Gea is... Hold on, I was never good at maths. Is that saying De Gea is... Yeah, De Gea is better than Henderson. Right, stay safe and good luck. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, RJ. Appreciate it. You guys in the chat can react to that. I'll leave up to you guys in the chat to react to that bomb. But cheers for joining, RJ. Appreciate it. Make sure you check out his channel. Great stuff over there. But yeah, what do you guys think about that? What do you guys think about that? Big Rom says, I would play Bruno out wide on the right. We need ball retention in the midfield, and Van der Beek provides that. Bruno can create out from the wide. I think we do need to keep possession. And as I talked about, the midfield battle, especially with the players that Leicester have in the midfield, is going to be massive. It's going to be absolutely crucial because they've got some quality. They've got some quality people in the midfield, some quality players. You know, Tielemans and Didi as well. It's going to be difficult. As I said, this game is not going to be a walkover by any means. You know, yes, we're ahead of them in the table, but they're having a very good season right now. And, you know, Maddison as well, someone mentioned. It's going to be very, very difficult. But, you know, as we've said, the midfield battle is massive. So hopefully, you know, we can win that. And if we do win that, I see us winning this game. That's simple as that. Matthew's joining us. Thanks for joining, Matthew. He said he's clapping RJ. So if RJ, if you're watching, that's for you, mate. Obviously agreeing with your bombshell that you dropped in. Jamie says Newcastle losing 3-0. Hey, as Dazza says, oh shame. Oh shame. That's my exact reaction. Yeah, Newcastle are going down. Let's face it, as Mr. Bojango said, Newcastle are going down to the Championship. I mean, if you guys were watching that first half, the way they approached that game was appalling. Absolutely appalling. And I'm not one of these people that turns my nose up at defensive football. But the idea that you go into a game which realistically is a must-win game for Newcastle and you sit back and basically play a false 11, not a false 9, but a false 11 is mental. It's absolutely mental. But they get what they deserve. But, you know, let's just be thankful that Steve Bruce isn't our manager. That's all I'm going to say. But yeah, Big Rom says Fulham versus Newcastle on the last day is going to be tasty. I'm looking forward to it. You know, this relegation battle looks like it's heating up a little bit. So yeah, that is obviously one to look forward to. All I'm hoping is that we've sealed and secured top 4 before then, so we're not worrying about anything on the last day of the season. That's all I'm hoping for. I don't want any nerves that we had last season when we had to beat Leicester and all that. I just want to be able to put my feet up at the last game of the season and just relax and watch everyone else have a mental breakdown. That's what I want. That is what I want. Please give me that. But we've seen a few predicted 11s, and give you my predicted 11 actually. You know what, let's do that. I don't actually have any graphics because it's Tim Pot channel over here at Red Devil Weekly, so there's no graphics to speak of, but I can tell you it's very similar to what you guys have put. Pretty well actually a kind of combination of what you guys have put, but I'd probably go with Henderson, and this is what I think Ollie would pick actually. This is my predicted 11 that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer would pick. So I think Ollie's not going to put De Gea back in. I think he's going to go for Henderson. I think we'll see Wan-Bissaka. I think we'll see Maguire. I think Eric Bailly might come back in for Victor Lindelof. Maybe if he thinks that Lindelof and Maguire is the best partnership, then I wouldn't be surprised if we see Bailly come back in next to Harry Maguire, which I don't think is a bad thing. Then we'll see Luke Shaw on the left-hand side, of course. I think he'll go back to McTominay and Fred, even though I think we should potentially look at playing Pogba because we looked so much better when Pogba came on the pitch. But I think he's going to go McTominay, Fred, Fernandes, and then depending on whether Martial's fit, I'm not sure if he's fit or not. So I think I'm going to go with Diallo, James and Greenwood as our front three. That's my predicted 11. It's potentially not the 11 I would go with, but it's my predicted 11 of what I think Solskjaer's going to go with. I usually get it wrong, so you don't worry. You don't have to listen to what I'm saying. I usually get it completely wrong, so don't be putting bets on it or anything. But yeah, that's my predicted 11. Big Rom says, realistically, do you think we'll spend much money in the summer? I reckon we'll get a second string centre back and a backup right back. Not enough. Sadly, I think you're close to the truth there. I think sadly, with what we've got, I just don't think we're going to be able to spend that much. I think they'll use COVID as an excuse, very similar to what they did in January. And I think we'll probably not spend that much money. And it's a shame because, if we really back this team, with some of the players we've got in this team, if we really backed it, I think we could be up there with Man City and Liverpool next season. I really, really do. But, if realistically, what you said there, 100%, it's not enough. We need to be buying quality. Especially if we're serious about the league, which our transfer business recently suggests that we're not serious about the league. If we're actually serious about this league title, we've got to be buying quality. But you guys let me know in the live chat, who would you guys like to see come in, and names as well in particular, because I'm interested to hear if you guys would say the same things as me. And Rich has joined us. Rich, thanks for joining, really do appreciate it. Make sure you check out Rich's channel. He did the preview for this game yesterday, really good watch. Make sure you do check it out on his channel if you haven't already. Brilliant stuff over there. And finally, before I put the link in the live chat for you guys to join in and have your say live on the stream, Mr. Bobba Django says Ben White swap deal plus cash for Declan Muller-Rice, and Dalot return. Maybe striker if Cavani goes. I think we definitely need a number 9. I think Cavani's pretty well. His head's in Boca Juniors. His head is in Boca Juniors, I reckon. So I think Cavani's pretty well gone. That's a pretty well safe bet. Obviously, shouts for Declan Rice. Ben White as well. I think I've heard a lot about Ben White. I'm not sure if he's really up to the hype, but I've heard a lot about him. I heard a lot of good things about him. And Dalot, of course, to come back from AC Milan, which, I think going forward, Dalot looks very, very good. I think defensively, I'm not sure. I'm still not 100% sold in him. I think there's definitely a lot of improvement still left to go, but he's still quite young. He's still quite young. That's the thing. Obviously, we've got a different opinion. Obviously, Adam says Ben White, fuck no, and Dazza says why would we want Ben White? So obviously, a difference of opinion there. Difference of opinion, which is all good. It's all good on this channel. Big Rom says realistically, the board can spend 150 million this summer and spend very little in the next few windows, and will be much better as opposed to just spending 50 million in 3 summers. I think so. If we go all out in one summer, we can really improve this squad. We've got a decent amount of depth, and one summer I think will be all it takes. I don't think we're that far away. I really don't. So I have to agree. Jamie says he likes Ben White. Of course, Wales are playing in the rugby. I'm not sure what the score is, but if they beat France, they can get the Grand Slam. So, fair play to them if they do. Fair play. And also, Dazza here says, what about this Koulibaly from Stuttgart? Been good for Stuttgart this season, and Waman. I'm not sure. I don't watch the Bundesliga too much. Obviously, Bayern Munich, of course, as you'll know, Daz played Stuttgart today. Lewandowski hat-trick as well. But yeah, I think, obviously, I haven't seen too much of them. So you know what? I'm not going to make myself look an idiot and comment on them because I haven't seen them. So I'm not going to be that guy. But yeah, interesting takes from you guys in the live chat, actually. Very, very interesting takes. But anyway, I'm going to put my link in the live chat right now. So if you guys do want to join in and have your say live on the stream and come on the call, then please do feel free to do so. All you do is click that link, which will be in the live chat right now, which will take you to a page. You know, you don't have to have a webcam or anything like that. All you have to have is a microphone to give your thoughts live on stream. But before I add everyone in, I'm going to give my prediction, and then that just means that I don't have to say anything else. I can hand it over to the guests. But my prediction going into this game is I think we'll just about go over the line. I think it's going to be very, very close indeed. I think Leicester are a very good side. They've got some quality players, some quality operators, especially in that midfield. And that midfield battle is going to be crucial if we're going to win this game. But I think we'll just about do it. And I'm going to go with a 2-1 win. I'm going to agree with Lennox earlier in the stream, a 2-1 win to Manchester United, and I wouldn't be surprised there's a little Bruno Fernandes penalty in there. I would not be surprised in the slightest. 2-1 United is my prediction. I want to be positive going into this one. It's a must-win game, as you guys have mentioned in the live chat. Get your predictions as well, guys, in the live chat right now as we are going through it. And Mr. Bobachanga says, nice, Jamie. He's not the experience / world-class centre-back people want, but he's brilliant on the ball, strong, and reads the game well. That's obviously referring to Ben White. Big Rom here says, my ideal summer would be Koundé, Saul Niguez, Sancho, and Depay. In reality, we'll end up with Mings, Trippier, and Troy Deeney. I'll tell you what, if we get Troy Deeney, at least we'll have, it'll be cojones plus 10. That's all I'll say. A massive strength in the cojones, but apart from that, not much else. And Jamie says he does, Bobber. He will have a good understanding with Maguire. Oh, I mean, that's true. That's true. But we'll have to wait and see on Ben White. 50 million, obviously. But this is the thing, is obviously we need to be careful with the way we spend our money. But I do agree that we need to spend big this summer. I'd like to see us spend big this summer, no doubt. But let's bring on the usual suspects, the guests we love to bring on this channel. I'm hoping everything is working sound-wise.
We both finally show our faces.
So can you guys hear me, by the way?
Yes, we can hear you. Well,
I mean, you're the one who never shows your face.
Right. Okay, good. Yeah. You guys can hear me. Right, nice one. We'll start with you, Dazza. Going into this game, obviously it's quite a big game, as you mentioned. It's a must-win game, a crucial game, I think you said in the live chat. Are you confident that we're going to win this must-win game then?
Hello?
Yeah.
Oh.
I didn't.
I'm not sure if I'm
because someone was moving his mic.
Oh, sorry, right. I was just asking, are you confident that in Manchester United winning this must-win game?
No.
Well, I'm not sure if we're having. I think we're having a little bit of technical issues.
I think if you look at our away form for the entire season, we've only lost 2 away games. Yeah, that was in Europe. That was in Champions League. Leipzig and Istanbul Besiktas here. But apart from that, our away form has been impeccable, especially.
Well, I mean, while that's I'm not sure if it's my side or his side.
Can you still hear me?
Yeah, we can still hear you. We can still hear you. Carry on what you're saying.
Right, hang on. I'll leave and join back. Give me a second. I'll leave and join back. So I think it might be my end. Just go monkey.
Kieran, I'm not laughing at you. I'm not laughing at you, Kieran. I just saw funny meme.
Alright, no worries. Don't worry about that. But I'll come to you then whilst Dazza comes back in. What are your thoughts then going into the game? Are you nervous, or do you think United will get the job done?
Well, Leicester's obviously a team that has been really good this season. Um, my hope is that they probably don't really care about the FA Cup because I'm hoping that they just want to solidify top four, because Leicester, they thought they were going to get top four, and yeah, so I feel like they don't really care about these competitions. I mean, they'd probably want to get a trophy. I feel like they would most likely care about getting top four. We need a trophy, so I feel like we will go for it. And with my lineup, I'm going Henderson in goal, AWB at right back because we literally have no one else. I'm actually going Tellers at left back. Just the two centre backs, Maguire and Bailly. I'm gonna try and be optimistic and hope if he just said, "Oh, I'm going Pogba and Fred, and then Fernandes, Diallo, James and Greenwood." So hold on, let me just do my research. Diallo, James and Greenwood, that would give us a combined age of a team of players under 23 for the front three. I swear, Ole needs to stop playing Rashford. The guy's injury just gets worse. Rashford be like, Ole, please, man, my injury's getting worse. Ole be like, nah, fam, my job's on the line, you gotta go now.
Yeah, it does get that.
There you go.
Yeah, it does get that way. It does definitely get that way because I don't understand why he played it in Milan, but there you go. But Dazza, I'll come back to you. What were your thoughts then going into the game?
So as I was saying, the away form that we have is impeccable. Okay, we got 2 defeats for there in Europe. Our away form in the cup competitions is good. We beat Leicester. No, we didn't. We drew. Didn't we drew to them? We drew to them in December, didn't we? 2-2.
Yeah.
A last minute own goal from Transabi or whoever it was. Yeah, that was not ideal, but it's a different. It's a whole different ball game in the cup because there's a lot more at stake. You got a place in the semi-finals at stake and a place at Wembley, which for Leicester was a rarity. So they never seem to get to Wembley very much. United, it should be routine stuff. By the way, I think Bailly is still injured, so I don't think he'll be playing. I think it'll be Flop and Finch again.
Bailly.
Yeah, you're probably right there.
Bailly's about as fit as Edinson Cavani. So there you go.
We love having unfit players.
To be honest, it's going to be. It's one of them games where you just have to start the first team. It's simple as that, really. If you play reserve players against a team like Leicester who've got Vardy, etc., Vardy's some brilliant form this season, you're not going to win. We have to start on the front foot like we did at the Etihad or the Etihad, and we have to start as we did away at Milan because we won the front foot already against Milan. So if we start on the front foot and not on the back foot, then we go in with more of a chance. An early goal would be ideal, but I don't think we'll get an early goal because I know what it's like. I know what like it takes us to like the second half.
With Man United, I saw we do not score early goals. We let the other team score an early goal and then we come back.
Yeah, to be fair, we scored a very early goal at Man City. Just while I have you, Daryl, before I go back to Adam, Mr. Bobajanga says he would take Sula as an upgrade on Lindelof. Do you reckon we've got a chance of getting Sula this summer?
I don't know. Possibly because Bayern have already confirmed Upamecano's going to Bayern, but that's in place of David Alaba because David Alaba's meant to leave.
And Boateng's not really good, is it?
Apart from that, I don't think, unless he doesn't get much game time ahead of likes of Upamecano, Boateng, Hernandez, then I don't see it happening. I don't see him leaving Bayern anytime soon. The two players I want to talk about, I did mention in the chat, obviously you won't know who I'm going on about, is Tanguy Koulibaly, the striker from Stuttgart, who I thought played quite well. You're talking about. He played, for some reason, he was meant to be a striker alongside Kaladzic. And together they're a decent strike force for Stuttgart. They have been all season. he was playing more on the left and right hand side than he was up top. So maybe that's a play. If we bring him in, he can play on the left, he can play on the right. So he can play anywhere as long as it's attacking wise. And also Silas Ramangatuka, don't forget, Ramangatuka has been, he's got 98 pace on FIFA. Yes, this isn't FIFA, by the way.
I know.
No, he's been absolutely superb. I'm going to put it out there. This season, he's much better than Jadon Sancho. Any day of the week. Much, much better than Jadon Sancho. Got more pace, he's got more agility. He was out muscling Alphonso Davies off the ball half the time. He's out muscling half the Bayern players, and Bayern have a very physical
Didn't
side.
Davies get sent off after 13 minutes?
Yes, but I didn't think it was a red card. I thought it was stupid, but yeah, it's one of them things. Sule's a United fan. That's the first I've heard, mate. But
because apparently there was a report that
quite possibly, but
listen,
I don't see him leaving Bayern anytime soon.
I don't get the whole off. Because I feel like with every player, there's always somehow a quote that said, "Oh, my dream is to play for Manchester United." Like, the source is probably Roberto Firmino scoring, which is
unlikely. So.
They all
sounds about as reliable as the sun, then.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly that. But by the way, Rich, if obviously I'm not sure when the rugby is going to finish, but if we are still on, you're more than welcome to come on. By the way,
I
used to watch cricket, but Pakistan have been so bad recently.
Hey, they're on the way back up, mate. They're on the way. They've got a few decent players. They've got a few players.
England.
I don't watch cricket. I sometimes get stumped on it, so there you go.
Oh, good. Love that.
On my channel. I use the camera because I just decided to use it today. The reason is, look at my hair. I really need a trim. So
yeah, you and me both, mate. You and me both. Like, yeah, I saw that. You're looking pretty smart, Daz. You're looking pretty smart.
How did you manage to get a haircut?
A few comments. Mr. Bobajang says 40 to 50 million would be worth the risk. Can't see them spending big. That's why my expectations are not big for Varane and Koundé. Yeah, I mean, listen.
Yeah, I don't.
Expectations, Varane and Koundé. Reality, we're probably gonna get friggin'. We're not even gonna get.
We're not gonna get.
We're probably gonna get Johnny Evans back on a cheap deal.
He's not been too bad this season, I'll tell you that.
I bet you any money if Varane comes to the Premier League, he'll go to Manchester City.
I swear to God. But then again,
that's all we need.
They've got enough centre back options. Also, Man City looks like they've done the time.
By Kobe, as we always say on this channel, you can never be late. Don't worry. Thanks for joining. Appreciate it. Better late than never, of course it is.
I mean, you can be if you joined at the end of the stream. Yeah.
Well, yeah, well, in some ways, but trust me, on this channel, you can never be late. That's all I'll say. We'll never be late.
Who gets annoyed when Ole plays players like friggin'? Now I've forgotten
Injury
who it was. Oh yeah, because he always says, "Oh no, we're trying to rest Paul Pogba so he doesn't get another injury," and Rashford's just there like, "Why don't you do this with me? Why am I always the one that's the go?" And with Pogba, I know he's inconsistent, but this season he's bailed United out a lot of times. Obviously in the Europa League, obviously when he scored that screamer against Fulham, I don't think he'll play tomorrow. It's just me getting my hopes up. Because I'll be honest, I like Ole, but I don't think he has a brain sometimes. Because I feel like sometimes he plays the wrong players. Because whenever I see McFred in the lineup, I think of throwing my phone out the window. Then I realise it's already
Hey,
broken.
that's a good attribute to have. 99 suntan.
Oh god. Jamie's
just
saying that
looking
his
at-
ultimate.
looking at, Bobby Django's comment.
Mm.
I mean,
Oh, yeah, go on.
Kimmich isn't leaving Bayern anytime soon. I'll tell you one player United could try and go for. I don't know whether it would happen.
Where
A
are
young
he?
player, which I'm sure you might have heard of. There's a young Bayern player called Jamal Musiala.
Oh, we're not getting him. Are you mad? The guy ain't.
Why
gonna-
not?
He's not really gonna.
Hey, he's been good.
Yeah, but why
He's
would he
been
want to
good.
leave Bayern for Man United?
He's
at
got
the
himself
moment?
called up to the Germany squad, so, you know.
Traitor.
I mean, I guess that's a fair point. When you're kind of already in the Bayern team and they're doing so well, as a young player, I'm not sure if you want to leave, but I mean, who knows in the future? In the future, he could be a decent purchase.
Also, apparently,
I think he'd
Haaland's
stand
out
more
for
game
the-
time for the United. Haaland's out.
for the first leg
Well,
against
no,
Man
he
City.
scored a double
apparently.
today against Cologne and they still couldn't win. Banter club. Dortmund did a banter club with Germany.
They're not as a banter club as Schalke.
Oh yeah.
Haaland
Well,
is
they're
not
just
because he played today.
yeah. To be fair, he's. I mean, Haaland is the only thing that's keeping
don't
Dortmund
know what's
afloat,
up with
really.
Schalke.
I mean, but yeah,
Well,
Mr.
you heard, by the
Bobajanga.
way, I mean, you won't believe this, but I mean, I bet you probably won't be surprised. There was something came out on Sky Sports. I think it might have been one or two or 3 weeks ago or something. Hansi Flick came out and said he can't rule out the fact that Bayern are looking at Haaland. Now, if he goes to Haaland, goodbye, Dortmund.
If he goes to Bayern, the Bundesliga may as well just all the teams may as well just be like, we're not playing this season because
Well, thing is,
You know how people
as you said
always
last
say
week, though,
Bayern
Daz.
just buy the league. Well, we didn't buy Timo Werner, did we?
Well, I mean, as you said last week, Daz, why did you want Haaland when you got Lewandowski? He proved Lewandowski already proved he was better than Haaland. He already proved he was better than him. So you don't need Haaland. You don't need Haaland. You don't need him.
Well, people are saying in case Lewandowski retired. I don't think he'll retire.
there's a player I really want from
He deserves to play for a
Sporting.
better club. Not that.
There's a player I want. He's from Sporting, of course. He's called Pedro
Pedro
Gonçalves.
Gonçalves.
I'm not sure if you've heard
Yeah,
of him.
yeah, Gonçalves. Yeah. He looks a real talent. What are your thoughts on him then?
I feel like a lot of people are going to say he's a 10. He's actually, I think he can play that right winger position, and he's a cheaper alternative to Sancho. And I honestly think, for what you're getting, it's better than splashing 100 million at Sancho. Because I'll be honest, Pedro Gonçalves is the guy I want. And what?
I don't know what happened there.
I wouldn't pay 100 million for him at all.
I wish this guy didn't play for a rival club, because he's one player I really want at United. Rafinha from Leeds. He's a baller. I hate to admit it, because they got him for 17 million, and Leeds aren't
He is a
selling.
good player.
Leeds are not going to sell Rafinha to us, and we'd probably have to pay like 80 million or something.
I don't think.
Yeah, it'll be a massive price.
Let me read you some stats about Pedro Gonçalves. Damn it, I can't do it on a MacBook.
But yeah, Mr. Bobajanga obviously saying United could go for Aubameyang as a sneaky outside shot.
Now, we want players who can score.
A banter
Exactly.
club likely to sell him to us.
Well, the thing is, people talk about how Bruno Fernandes doesn't show up in big games. I mean, what has Aubameyang done this season in big games? Can someone tell me what he's done?
I guess Leicester and Everton are big teams then.
He did, yeah. I give him that. I'll give him that. Also, Brendan, thanks for joining.
Would you all take, even if we couldn't get Pedro Gonçalves, would you take Pedro Neto at United, the winger from Wolves?
He looks good, to be fair.
Pedro
He looks good.
Yeah, in 22 matches for Sporting.
Yeah, but we've already got enough. We've already got enough left, mates.
Well, to
Yeah.
be fair, if Rashford does become a bit injury prone,
Quite mids.
Yeah. So
yeah.
when it comes to like Leicester, though, I think we went a bit off track about Leicester. There's some players that I feel like you know they could be big in this game. And there's a centre back called Wesley Fofana who plays for Leicester. Very good. Another signing that has turned out to be very good for a bargain. He's gonna be. I cannot speak, can I? Like the worst.
That's all right. No, I get like that. Don't worry, mate.
Yeah,
Don't worry.
but
Carry on.
Vardy, I am worried because Vardy always seems to score against United. Like it always seems Jamie Vardy scores against United, and Kelechi Iheanacho, even though I do captain him on my FPL sometimes, I don't want him to score against us because, fun fact, my cousin, he's actually a Liverpool fan, but he had I think he had the Lamina on his FPL team. So when Lamina scored against Liverpool, he started celebrating.
Oh well, that's what a fantasy Premier League does to you.
Would I
That's what
take
it does to you.
United?
From Kobe.
Coleman would be a good shout, but he's not going to leave Bayern in a hurry, is he?
Also,
He won't leave Bayern in a hurry.
I'm going to ask you two a question. Would you rather win FA Cup or Europa League?
Oh, I think your mic's just gone, Adam. I think you might be muted.
Am I?
No, I've just heard him say.
It might actually be me. Sorry, it might actually be me. It might be me. Hold on, let me just check. Yeah, it was me. Don't worry. Your mic wasn't muted. It's my bad. My headphones just went. It's my fault. It's my fault. Apologies for that. Right, Adam, go again. Sorry, sorry interrupted.
Would you rather win FA Cup or Europa League?
Well, I'll let Dazza answer first.
About it, if you win the FA Cup, you win the Europa League anyway. If you win the FA Cup, you win the Europa League anyway. I'd rather win the Europa League. You get into the Champions League, plus it's a trophy. Not just because it's a trophy, but also it makes you the world champions. Not the world champions. No, what the hell am I going on about? It makes you makes you European champions as well, which is good. Yeah. So, I'd rather win the Europa League. It's a much bigger trophy, and it's highly contested. It's more contested than the FA Cup. Then again, the FA Cup's had a few surprises.
There's a player that I think I mentioned
couple of years. Wigan Athletic, I think, was the biggest.
There's a player that. There's a player that I.
It's mine.
There's a player that.
Oh, sorry, Adam. Go on ahead.
There's a player I want. I mentioned it on Richard's stream, and everyone keeps hating on him, saying, "Oh, we shouldn't get him." Bissouma from Brighton, I know you can say he's not Man United quality. You don't know Bissouma?
Oh, Bissouma.
What do you?
Yeah.
I didn't know who you were on about at first. I didn't.
Just before we get on to Bissouma, a few answers to your question, Adam. Mr. Bobba Django said he would rather win the Europa League, as would Brendan. And Kobe would actually go with the FA Cup because he says win the FA Cup to stop Man City from winning the treble. Oh, sorry, go on, what's your question?
No, wait, not a question. It wasn't a question. No, I have an answer. Why not both?
Oh, go on.
Why not both?
Well, of course, yeah. Of course, we want to win both if we can.
Because one, we get to stop City from winning the treble. The oil.
Oh, yeah, that'd be ideal.
Hold up, I need to just check if my...
Yes, but we're not going to stop City from winning the treble for a while unless we can do it this season. But
yeah, you can see why I checked if my
Spurs could stop them, although Spurs can even beat
Sorry, Dad, can you the joke again? Fam, they literally
Did you?
bottled to a team whose manager is in prison.
If you want a joke, I'll tell you a joke.
Go on then.
Okay, joke time with other.
Yeah, I heard about that. Apparently, the guy was actually doing the tactics in jail. If you want a joke, here we go. What kind of car does an egg drive? A Volkswagen.
The master at work. The master at work there.
If you
That is
don't get it,
It's a
Dina
Yorkshire.
Mosag's manager, he was actually in prison, and Tottenham bottled to a manager who was in prison. I bet he was calling them before saying, lads, it's only Tottenham.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, I saw that. I mean,
Like,
I wonder if
literally
Tottenham
keeping that to the floor.
will try and sign with Slavosic.
I mean, Mourinho has fallen. You know when Mourinho's fallen when. Yeah. Oh, exactly. Yeah, the guy scored a hat trick. But when Mourinho's fallen, when he's been scored by a manager who's behind bars. I mean, it's not a good sign.
I know this is a
go on.
United fan channel, but do you think it's time's up for Mourinho at Tottenham now? Because there was big expectations, with the Gareth Bale, Sergio
Time to go.
What the hell was that?
That was an impression of Claude. It's time to go. It's time to go.
No.
Classic.
I'll do an impression of Hyde. The only reason we lost to Burnley was because they began with B, and the players thought it was Bayern Munich, so...
Of course, that's the reason. Of course.
No.
If only we'd known.
Oh no!
I can tell you how you can do an. I know how to do. How you do an impression of Ty? Just wear 2 sets of headphones.
Yeah, well, exactly. Yeah, that is him down to a T. That's him down.
Wait a minute. Wait, hold on. I need to find them. Where the frick am I?
Right. Before we get into complete chaos, we brought in Rich. I've got no idea what's going on, to be honest, Rich, but we brought in a bit of sanity by bringing Rich to the stream.
I'm not sure about that.
I'm going to wear the hat instead.
Is this why Adam doesn't use his camera on my channel? Maybe it's for
maybe it is.
Shit, I'm wearing a Ravens hat.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, the Glazers wouldn't like you for that, though, mate. I'll tell you, you're wearing the wrong hat. Wait, I might be mixing up my sports there. I think.
Yeah, that's
not NFL, is it?
That is NFL, isn't it? Isn't that Raiders?
Yeah.
All right, so I'm not mixing up my sports. All right, okay. Well, anyway, so it's gone.
Yeah,
I don't know what's happening there, but I'm going to ask Rich. We're going to get back onto the pre. I'm going to ask Rich
before I click to join.
Yeah, I know. Welcome to the madhouse. But make sure you check out Rich Sports as well. Great stuff on there, as I said, and also Daz's Football Stand as well, and Adam Talk Sport, of course. All the guys on the stream right now. But I'll come to you, Rich, first. We've asked Dazza and Adam the same question. Are you confident going into this game? Obviously, it's a must-win game for Manchester United. Do you think we'll get over the line?
I've gone for a 2. Have you done score predictions? I'm predicting that we'll win against Leicester. I think we're a better team than them. I know we've had to play an extra game in midweek, which hasn't helped, but we didn't look like we was actually running too much in most of that game, so I think we'll be okay. And it's quite good to see Pogba coming back, which is a positive. I mean, we're missing a few players, but I'd still back us against Leicester. I think I have to be confident. I know they're a good team, but...
Yeah, definitely. I think, looking at what we did in the second half, especially against AC Milan, I think there's a lot of positives there, a lot to be encouraged about. But I think Paul Pogba obviously was a massive part of that, because in the first half we looked pretty poor. So
I thought that. I thought actually defensively we were pretty good, because Henderson didn't have a lot of saves to make. Okay, the one he did make, very good. But defensively, Lindelof was playing well, and if he goes with the standard Lindelof-Maguire, at least it is actually working quite well at the moment. I know we've probably criticised it for about 50 previews, but it's actually... haven't really conceded a lot of goals, have we, in the last sort of 3 or 4 games?
Yeah.
So,
That's what were you laughing at there? Oh.
They just gone.
No, the fact he was... No, I was laughing at the fact he said that we'd been slating it for like 50 previews.
Oh, right, okay. All right, fair enough.
Because it's true. It is.
It's true.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I think there's improvements. I'm going
We've
to
done
say maybe Henderson
Henderson.
is playing well with those two in front of him. Maguire, Lindelof look more.
I'm
more
going to say an
confident.
unpopular opinion. I think the reason Maguire and Lindelof are playing well is because of Henderson.
That's what I said. That's not unpopular. That's agreeing with me.
No, with Henderson, what it is he comes off his line.
No, I wasn't saying it was popular.
He comes off his line, and De Gea doesn't do that a lot, you know. And you be honest, on the ball, who would you rather have, Henderson or De Gea?
On the ball, do you say?
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know.
I don't know. They haven't been excellent either of them, have they? Really?
Yeah.
To be fair, though, you can't blame Henderson. He played like, I mean, apart from now, he's played like.
He's getting a chance, isn't he? He's getting a run of games, and we're not conceding many goals, so he can't really do much more than that, can he? So I think he's done his chance of getting games in the future, no harm whatsoever.
I think he bosses. I think he bosses.
Oh, sorry, Dad's gone.
More than Harry Maguire's, and Harry Maguire's the captain. David De Gea just stays quiet and doesn't really communicate as much. Henderson has a good understanding with Maguire, and he bosses him about a lot more. De Gea just seems to, just stay quiet. I don't think he's as vocal as people would like.
Do you think he's
That's my
predictable?
opinion.
But they know what Henderson's going to do because he's predictable. They know if it's a cross there, he's attacking it. So Lindelof and Maguire know they don't have to move back, or they don't have to be in two minds wondering, is David De Gea going to come out? Is the keeper going to go for that one? They know Henderson's going. We saw it early in the season when he went through Bailly to get it. He's getting the ball no matter who's in front of him. I saw this question from Brendan about Leicester's ambition, and because I spoke to a Leicester fan last night. Their ambition at the start of the season was definitely top four because of the way we beat them to top four last season. So that's what Leicester fans want. They want Champions League football. That's the main ambition. The FA Cup run is the icing on the cake, but I think realistically, can they get through City in the FA Cup? And there's other good teams. So top four definitely for them. I don't know. I think because of the buffer we've got about 5-6 points above Chelsea and West Ham. I don't see this as a game Leicester have to rest players either. They can go for this game. They've got a little buffer like we have. So I think they'd be happy, but I don't see them winning the FA Cup, but I certainly see them giving us a tough game on the weekend. And for them, I think if they finish third or fourth, then they'll be happy because Champions League football is what they want.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
We all remembered last season.
Well, in Brendan sacrifice the FA Cup, it's possible, but
yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I agree with you. I think obviously Mr. Boba Django here saying he says he reckons top four, especially after their collapse last year.
Yeah.
Third place in Champions League could attract some nice new players for them. I think I have to agree with what Mr. Boba Django said there. I think, I agree. I think realistically for Leicester, if they can get into the Champions League, it's massive for them going forward because they were back in the Champions League, I think, after they won the league that season. Then they actually did all right. Then they got to the quarterfinals maybe, and then Sevilla knocked them out. But or was it Sevilla or was it someone else? I can't remember. But whoever knocked them out. And then since then they kind of haven't been back. But to actually under Brendan Rodgers, they've been progressing, and then to kind of get back into the Champions League would be a big step for them. So I think they'd much rather go for the Champions League, but I don't think they're going to sacrifice the FA Cup because, as you said, Rich, I agree. I don't think they need to because I think they're in a decent position, and if they unless they completely collapse like they did last season, which I don't see them doing, then they'll probably make it.
I don't see them collapsing at all. I don't see I think with Chelsea in the Champions League, that I see Chelsea maybe having to kind of try and rotate players a bit because if they get through the next round. The Champions League for them is a big thing, and I don't know if Chelsea are going to be able to put a run together in the Premier League.
Can I give my score prediction quickly?
Oh yeah, go on, Adam. Go on. What's your score prediction?
3-2 United. I'm had hat-trick incoming.
I tell you what, Amad Diallo scoring a hat trick
scoring.
it would make my week if Amad Diallo was to score a hat trick.
I'm telling you now, Diallo's better than Pan. I'm joking. I'm not saying that.
Someone was asking me yesterday about how comparing Diallo to another player. And I was like, he's played 45 minutes. I think you should probably let him play a few games. So it's like, come on. It was a great finish, but he played like half a game of football.
Exactly. That's the nature of the kind of modern football these days. Is as soon as someone has, I remember Billy Gilmore for Chelsea on his debut. I think after his debut, Roy Keane was saying he looked like an amazing centre midfield player. It's like he's had one game.
Hyping Billy Gilmore up, saying
how many amazing players have we seen play one game and they've been amazing, and then that's it?
I know one. I'm hoping it's not true, but why does Diallo sort of remind me of Makeda a bit? Like. Makeda scored that goal. We all thought, hey, Ronaldo can go. We've got set.
Makeda.
That is a legendary goal. But I hope his career's a bit longer than Makeda. I hope he's got a bit more longevity in him.
Longer than one finish.
Yeah, exactly.
I think he's there. I think given the amount of money paid for him and the way he started in the under-23s, I think he's.
Who remembers the voice break from Thailand?
Oh yeah, the commentary. Yeah, of course. It goes with the clip. It goes with the clip dance. Of course, everyone remembers.
Who remembers the famous Thailand voice break?
I can't hear you.
Can anyone actually hear what I'm saying?
No, I can't hear Dazu. I can hear you.
Oh, sorry. Okay. There has been a few technical issues, so hopefully. All right, cool. But I wanted to ask actually about the midfield, because we talked a little bit about kind of how we'd set up. But I think, in my opinion, the midfield battle is going to be very, very big tomorrow, especially if you look at who they've got in the midfield with Tielemans and Ndidi, two pretty decent players. I'll come to you on this one first, Rich. How do you think we need to set up to battle that midfield? Do you think Ollie's going to go with McFred and Fernandes, or do you think he might put Pogba in there?
So people were saying about I think somebody was saying earlier on that Pogba's not going to start, but otherwise, when we're doing the preview for AC Milan, we thought he'd be in midfield, or depending on whether he's playing. G from Red Devil Studio was suggesting on the left. We saw him do a good job on the left. If Rashford's not available, I could see that, but maybe from the offset, I don't know, because if Pogba's not starting, then the McFred unit, is this going to be another one of those games where like AC Milan will start off quite poor, but maybe we have options off the bench? I see Pogba playing, but not starting. So maybe come on for the second half, in which case maybe we'll see the McFred unit.
Pogba should start though, because I'll be honest, if we want to win this game, Pogba...
Did Solskjaer say it's not starting though? That's kind of what I've heard. If that's true, then...
Why?
What? Well, I think someone in the live chat did say.
He has to go now.
I think someone in the live chat, I remember towards the start of the stream, did say that Ollie said he wouldn't be starting. And to be honest with you, I haven't actually watched the press conference. I probably should have done, but I haven't.
think Jamie said it. I don't know if it was on this one or he said it on Twitter today.
Oh yeah.
I'm trying to think. We seem to be running out of players in certain positions at the moment, don't we?
Yeah.
I should probably put 11 together just based on who's left. And
exactly.
I'll put 11 together. All right. Dave from the local pub.
I'd say I think you've already done defence. I'm guessing. Do you have Wan-Bissaka, Luke Shaw, Eric Bailly, Maguire, or I think Maguire, Lindelof. I think it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Bailly's injured apparently. For God's sake, Bailly, I bet you he injured himself trying to get the yogurts at Tesco.
Well, listen, I mean, if he could just, stay out of the treatment table for a week, that would be great. But that's the one.
I think that.
Well, yeah, that's my one worry with Bailly. I think for me is that you look at he's got talent. He's got undeniable talent, and actually, when he's played next to Maguire this season, he's been very good. But realistically, if he's going to keep getting injured.
Was it Ledley King for Spurs that was exceptional defender, but he had no knees? Well, he had knees that weren't very good. So
exactly.
I feel like if Bailly could stay fit, I can already hear fans typing it as I'm saying it. If Bailly could stay fit, I think he's the best centre back in the Premier League.
I mean,
You know,
I think there's probably a few Man City fans or maybe Liverpool fans out there saying, what about Van Dijk? What about Ruben Diaz? But
Ruben Diaz is the best defender in the world.
he's been
Why the
decent this
hell did I
season.
do a
I have
Scouse
to.
accent for a Man City fan?
Yeah, I think Van Dijk's probably more of a threat to that throne. I mean, to be fair, without Van Dijk, Liverpool have been... I mean, they've been like a mid-table club this season without Van Dijk, especially at home.
They seem to have responded really poorly to one injury, haven't they? They've had 20-plus pairings in defence, which I don't know where they get all these players from to actually play in defence. But they also move midfielders into defence, which seems a bit stupid. So I think maybe Klopp has had a few injury problems, but I think he's just handled it very, very poorly. And great to see as a Manchester United supporter that they're relevant now.
Of course.
I am nervous
because Django makes a good point that Leicester could play a high tempo because we have we probably flew back just a couple of days ago. So that's why I don't think Pogba will start. I think Pogba will play half a game, and maybe we'll look to play quite boring in the first half, like we often do with like the McFred unit, not really passing forward, but maybe go for it the second half.
Yeah, I think.
Kieran,
sorry. Wait, Adam, can you still hear me?
Oh yeah, I can. We can still hear you. Don't worry.
All right, no worries. I was wondering if you. But by the way, just want to say thanks, Daz, for coming on. Appreciate it. Obviously, you said the connection went. But cheers for coming on. Always good to get you on, mate. And make sure you do check out Daz's football stand as well. Brilliant stuff on there. And I have to shout out this guy. I don't think I've seen him round before. But he says his name is an honest and humble Mexican. I have to read that out. That's a quality name. But thanks for joining. Appreciate it. Thanks for coming. Appreciate it. And Daz's prediction is 2-1 United. So same as mine, actually. Great mind think alike. Great minds think alike.
I know it's a boring prediction. I make it a lot. But I just...
Yeah.
I maybe should have gone 1-0 because I think I fancy us to defend a bit better than we have done at the start of the season. But so it could be one of those games where I don't... Did someone say 3-2? It might have been Adam.
Adam, yeah.
Goals.
That was just me getting on a high call, hoping Diallo would score a hat-trick.
Oh, okay. But, that's a big ask.
If I'm going to have to do my realistic prediction, 2-1 Fernandes double. I feel like if Bruno doesn't perform well, we're not winning the game. We need Bruno to sort of use his Portuguese vavavu to help us again.
Do you think, though, without Pogba, he looked a bit average against AC Milan?
You what?
In the first half, without Pogba?
Nah. You mean?
I would say you need to change your name to honest, humble, and very optimistic Mexican.
Manchester wins 5-0 versus Leicestershire. If we're playing the county of Leicestershire, we might have a chance.
That'd be a surprising win.
Hey, he knows there's only one Manchester club. That's why he doesn't say Manchester United. He says Manchester.
Oh, of course. Well, there you go. I mean, to be fair, I know in American stuff that to be fair, Man United got a pretty good following over there. But Matthew says it'll be 1-0. So almost reading your mind, Rich. 1-0.
I think that's a good shout.
One of those sneaky results.
Can I just ask a random question? Because it caused a lot of people to kick off last night on my channel.
Go on then. Sounds like a good question.
It's just in terms of fans. There's two questions really. What would you consider the biggest club in world football, and which would you consider the best club in world football historically? So over the last,
all right.
Maybe the best as the most successful.
I'll answer.
And biggest as in fan base.
Biggest as in fan base. I'm going United. I mean, the Asia loves us.
I would agree with that because I think it's a lot of American fans, a lot of Asian fans. I think most countries have got a lot of Manchester United fans, like Africa, every continent.
Yeah, and
definitely.
And what was the other one?
The best in terms of historical record.
Man United.
I'm going to say, for me, I'd say Real Madrid. The amount of European Cups they've won.
False information has been detected.
Oh, so what were you referring to, Adam?
No, I think Man United for both. Biggest.
Oh, really?
And because what it is with Man United is a lot of people have supported United because of one player. And I'll be honest, I think Real Madrid fans, most of them are from like South America, Argentina, Brazil, Uruguay.
But I mean, like in terms
Barcelona.
of historical success, and Manchester United have overtaken Liverpool recently, haven't they, to be the most successful in England. But in terms of like Real Madrid's Champions Leagues, is like how many have they won? It's like over 10. Is it 12 or?
Oh, yeah,
So
12.
some
What about AC
historically,
Milan then? You could put AC Milan up there.
AC Milan are up there, aren't they?
Oh yeah,
Like
definitely, yeah.
7 or 8. So
Just not in the past decade.
yeah, that's what I mean. Because AC Milan have won a lot consistently. So even like Manchester City and Chelsea's recent success, they're still below Arsenal in England, because Arsenal have won way more titles than those two teams. But historically, I would say Real Madrid, because of all the titles they won in the 50s. There was a bit of I think it was trying to convince Arsenal fans or some fans that Manchester United have got a lot of fans worldwide. And it's probably because not necessarily the 90s success, but also the 60s success with Bestlaw and Charlton, that maybe someone like George Best was maybe one of the first celebrity football players that people that don't watch football would kind of think are interested in. But I just wondered, because I think it got a bit unnecessarily.
Can I show you two something? Alright, let me
Yes,
see if I
channel.
can. Let me see if I can. How the fuck does it? Alright, I'll just say. So
Wait, Adam, I can do this. Look at that. Look at that.
he said,
Amazing
"Sing
stuff.
if you are in Champions League, Man City, Chelsea, Liverpool, Man United." And yeah, he put that, and then I put sing. Right. Can you see that?
No, we
Yeah,
can't. We
you
can't. It's
can
not in
write a
view.
What's your left, maybe?
Let me see if I can turn off the.
You're off the screen. I think it's that.
Yeah. We could see the actual writing. It was just it wasn't in the view of the camera.
Alright, I'll just read what I put.
Yeah, go on.
I put sing if you're gonna finish top 4 this season. All Liverpool are quiet now.
I mean,
some teams that haven't won it either. Man City need to.
Exactly, Man City, Arsenal. You know, they haven't won it. A few comments I want to just mention by the way. Mo, thanks for joining. He goes with 1-0 as well.
They won the Champions League.
They haven't. The closest they got was the final, where was someone. Lehman got sent off in that final.
You're talking about Arsenal?
Lost to Barcelona.
Yeah, they scored quite early,
Arsenal.
they?
Yeah.
Eventually bottled it and lost 2-1. I can't remember who scored.
Yeah.
They're just FA Cup merchants.
I was supporting Barcelona that night, though, I have to admit.
Oh yeah, got to. Patrick, 20 Sports, thanks for joining. He says a bit different in here. 3-1 to United. I mean, I like that. It is an optimistic prediction because Leicester are a very decent side, but anyway will do. Anyway will do.
You never know, do you?
Exactly. Matthew says, thought we defended well, made them look like they had no bite. Obviously referring to the AC Milan game.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, we definitely defended well. I think, you know, some people. I think it was a bit far saying some people said that Maguire was like Maldini, but you know, at the same time, he was decent. You have to say he was very good.
I thought Lindelof was excellent. I thought they both played very well. And
yeah. Oh yeah.
When we played that game, people started talking about AC Milan, saying, "Oh, they're not that good." They're second in Serie A.
You know, second for them, especially with the way the last decade's been for them. It's good, and I was worried when Zlatan came on. I was like, you know, Zlatan. I bet you will. He scores against us, and like every United game, holding on to the seat, just hoping we don't concede. Because with United, we can't be a team that just puts our chances away, and I can just sit back. Even when we were 4-0 up against Leeds, I was still worrying because.
Sure, Leeds didn't defend at all for 90 minutes. I think when it was 2-0 after 3 minutes, I felt a bit confident.
Yeah, exactly.
You know Leeds.
That was a great game, though.
When they let bloody Scott McTominay score 2 in 5 minutes.
Yeah, well, no, he's the Scottish Zidane. I think, you know, it puts some respect on the Scottish Zidane's name. But
listen, I think we haven't conceded many goals at all. I wouldn't be surprised if we did go quite defensive, because I don't think Leicester have got as good. Like Vardy, obviously, it's all about pace,
Don't
isn't it?
mention his name.
If you're defensive, I don't see Leicester creating as many chances where we've got better individual players.
Yeah, no, 100%. I
wouldn't probably be surprised if we win 1-0 and it's Pogba, to be honest.
One thing though, with Rashford, and I don't know if you've noticed this, Rashford can be like Ronaldo at one time and then immediately turn into Emil Heskey the next.
It's not that, no, never Heskey. It's not got that sort of first touch, has he?
It's just his finishing. His finishing, man. Like with Rashford, when you get the ball, you're like, come on, Rashford, just shoot. The man tries dribbling around them 50 times and then gives.
I think it's maybe sometimes. Do you remember the AC Milan game recently? Pogba just delayed his shot, kind of dummied a little bit, and then lifted the ball over the where the keeper couldn't save it. Whereas I see players like maybe someone like Rashford maybe panics, puts a bit more power on it, hits the ball earlier straight at the keeper. Whereas amazing composure from Pogba, I think that's the difference, isn't it? Like someone like Henry or someone like Solskjaer. You don't have to hit the ball as hard as possible, do you? Just put it where the keeper isn't. Just like Jimmy Greaves used to just pass the ball into the net. You just have to score. You don't have to just place it in the corner. So I think that's the difference. That Rashford maybe it's just a bit of composure. He's got the ability.
I mean, another thing we've seen from Rashford in previous seasons, we've obviously, I mean, the ultimate was the penalty against PSG. That's obviously where you need your most composure in any situation, unless you were taking a penalty in the World Cup, which he also did. So we've seen it in the past, but it just seems this season, I think as well as his decision making this season going forward hasn't been that great. And even though he has scored goals this season, his numbers are actually not too bad. But I think recently his decision making has been a bit, it's been
I'll just leave that on the screen.
a bit off it. I'll just read out. Patrick says, "Are we low key on a clean sheet run? Have to give the defense props. Clean sheet is a clean sheet, of course it is. I think we have been doing well recently. There's no doubt about it. I think even Maguire and Lindelof, who Rich mentioned, we've kind of all been saying is a wrong partnership, has actually been doing pretty well. So you've got to say,
don't you? I think that when they're not playing well, like say, definitely look at the Crystal Palace game, look at Brighton in terms of how our defence was playing early in the season, and certainly some games where I think there's been indecision in clearing crosses from set pieces. We've called out some of the issues, but when they're playing well, you have to say Lindelof looked great against AC Milan. I think he's maybe the second best player after Pogba. Maguire as well, some crucial clearances. They were very good players, and I think we've been quite fair. And I think most people have been saying that.
I think really, I mean, one of my final points, I'm probably going to wrap up very shortly, but I just think with Lindelof, he's still quite, in terms of an actual defender, he's still quite young. I don't think he's, well, actually, I'm not sure 100% what his age is, but I think he's obviously not around 30 yet, and those are the sort of performances that we would hope that kind of give him that experience and give him that confidence that actually he's a decent defender. If we can get Lindelof playing, it's a massive boost for us.
We kept talking earlier this season saying if you put Eric Bailly next to Lindelof or Eric Bailly next to Maguire, but maybe you could be looking at if Eric Bailly has these injury issues, if you buy another, we want to buy a very top quality central defender, then maybe they'll play sometimes with Maguire, sometimes with Lindelof. It could be Lindelof could still have a place. I don't see us getting a huge amount of money for him.
With Maguire and Lindelof, they have performances where they're great, and then they have performances where they're like Alexander-Arnold in defence.
But they've got progressively better, haven't they, over the last few months? I would say that.
Before, they were like bananas in pyjamas in defence. They weren't good. But now...
What a reference.
Do you think it's the whole defence, maybe that obviously coaching and organising, trying to deal with how we defend as a unit rather than individual players, has got better? And Henderson could be a part of that people were mentioning. It's not just like...
I'm telling you now...
Wan-Bissaka's very young, he's getting better. Luke Shaw's having the season of his career, certainly at Manchester United, and shown the reason why we bought him. So with these kind of players actually improving throughout the season, everyone in defence, I think, has got better. But it's not surprising that we're on probably one of the best runs. Who goes to the San Siro and wins and shuts down AC Milan? Not many teams.
Exactly.
I'll be honest with you guys.
Yeah, it is. I think that's only our second win in our history there, I think.
You think that this United squad is the best one we've had since the post-Alex Ferguson era.
I think I'd have to say yes on that, I think I'd have to say yes.
Since Fergie was like, now it's time to pack my bags, and we've gone through like 500 managers.
Yeah.
I think it's because our defence retired, didn't it? So our defence retired when Alex Ferguson retired. They just Vidic, Ferdinand and Evra were like, bye. They go, oh, okay.
Yeah.
We haven't rebuilt it.
Exactly. I actually thought that, I would have said that probably before this season, I would have said our best squad was in Jose Mourinho's second season, because obviously we finished second and we got about 81 points.
How dare you mention that name? We do not mention Mourinho's name.
Someone mentioned Pogba, and I think we did rely on him quite a lot. I think when he was missing for the last month, we've really noticed it in terms of, if someone shuts down Bruno, where do we go for creativity? And Van der Beek was injured as well. But no, I think when we had Pogba and Zlatan linking up really well, they were just two key units of our team, and we seem to have lost Cavani for a while, and he hasn't played much recently.
Get Cavani out the club. Cavani.
Bring in Haaland, Adam. We talked about this yesterday. We're bringing in Haaland.
That's even worse.
Even worse. Joking, aren't you?
No, because
I'll tell you what, I'd take Haaland. I'd say if they want Cavani for Haaland, I'm packing his bags tomorrow.
The reason I'm saying I don't want Haaland,
go on.
The guy, two reasons. He can't make United a title-winning team on his own. I mean,
no, but he's definitely an improvement, and he's definitely a world-class.
Yeah, of course he's an improvement. I'm just saying.
And that's what you need.
He has that meatball muncher as his agent, and does he actually want to come to United because we're Man United, or does he just want to come and just collect a big fat paycheck of like 500k a week or something?
I mean, if it was true, if it was true that Haaland only wanted to come because of the money, then of course you have to kind of think of that differently. But I mean, in my opinion anyway, Adam, I would say that one of the things we've lacked this season is a proper finisher, because we create a decent amount of chances, but the amount of times someone like James or Rashford or anyone will just put a cross into the box and there's no one there to tap it in, or we make chances and we don't finish it. And I mean, like it or not, Haaland is just a machine at finishing. He's a goal machine.
Finisher, don't you? Just someone that is going to finish chances, and I think that would be a massive improvement, because we can be quite solid defensively when we want to be, or when we play well, and we do create quite a few chances.
You're all forgetting the fact that we're meant to have our future striker in Mason bloody Greenwood, but Ollie decided to play him on the bloody wing instead. That's like getting the best car, right? Let's say you get a Lamborghini, and then deciding to replace it with a Ford Fiesta. Like, it wouldn't make sense.
Yeah, but it's a Ford Fiesta that's got the potential to be a Lamborghini. I know that doesn't really work in the real world, but it's a Ford Fiesta
because the Lamborghinis, they're better. Greenwood's better at striker, and we're putting him in at the wing.
Yeah, I mean, I think. Well, no, obviously for the under 23s or whatever. Yeah, of course he was striker. But to be fair, I actually think recently Greenwood's been very sharp. He's been very good recently as a winger. So I don't know. I feel like potentially in the future Greenwood could be our number 9, but I don't know. I'm not sure.
He's not really doing it.
I do want Haaland, but I don't want to go overboard. So I definitely wouldn't. I would take Haaland, obviously, but how much would he cost realistically? Because Dortmund tried
quite a lot.
Dortmund tried to rip us off with Sancho. Dortmund were like, alright, basically, we won. I think at one point, I don't know how true this is, they tried to get us to swap Rashford for Sancho, which was never going to happen.
Yeah.
So if they tried to make us swap Rashford for Sancho, they'd probably make us try and swap Bruno, Rashford, Greenwood.
They probably need money, don't they? They probably need more cash, because they're going to... Depends where they finish in the league, where they get European Champions League football.
Wait, are Dortmund going to get European football? Please tell me they're not. Please tell me they're not.
They're not doing great at the moment, are they? Are they like 5th or 6th?
Hold up, I'm just
Yeah,
looking at the Bundesliga table.
Yeah, they're not having the best season. I don't
Damn
think.
it, they're 5th.
Oh well, there you go. But I'm guys, I do have to go in just a few moments, so I'm just going to read the last few comments. But I appreciate you guys coming on, Rich and also Daz and also Adam, of course.
When I can. Nice
Yeah, of course, I should have you on more, really, Rich. You know, you're kind enough to let me on your channel quite a few times.
Well,
Exactly.
Around. So when it's peaceful and quiet, that's fine. I don't want to have. I don't want to. What's the word?
What the hell?
I don't know. That didn't come from my end. But
no, when it's peaceful and quiet, it's fine. You don't want children fighting in the background, which can't guarantee won't happen.
Don't worry. The reason I pretty much time because I'm just in my room doing nothing all day.
I've got a question for you, Adam. When you come on my channel, you never put your camera on. Why is that?
Because I've got a really bad trim at the moment.
Well, you got it on here on this channel. People look at the box and just wonder who it is. And sometimes it's a dolphin logo, sometimes it's ATS.
They want to see the man behind the madness.
I know.
I mean, the genius.
I'll show my face.
Sometimes I did a show with just 3 people in boxes. People just go, "What's going on? Did you pick a box?"
You've seen the man behind the face. I don't know if you've noticed on my videos, but I've started doing like where I record from my screen now, and that's because my trim's so bad at the moment, and I don't want to show it.
To be fair, at least everyone's in the same boat. I mean, obviously, yeah, that's true. Yeah,
Rich doesn't have to worry though.
Well, it's just,
that's a low blow. That's a low blow, Adam.
So I just do it every few weeks.
Yeah, no, that's actually not too bad. By the way, just want to mention. I actually don't know the date, but I think it's in April sometime. Football fan 148.
I think this is like some sort of hairdressing chat.
Haaland is on it.
He's a Chelsea fan. He says Haaland is on his way to Stamford Bridge, and so is Sancho. If you can pull both them off, that'll be crazy. I doubt it though, unfortunately.
It's about Declan Rice, wasn't it? Declan Rice was like a big target for Chelsea.
Yeah, but obviously.
I think Rice is a bit overhyped, you know. Like 100 million for Rice.
Well, not 100 million. Yeah, I don't say.
No, David Moyes literally said Rice is worth
it?
more than 100 million.
Yeah.
You can literally just go to the nearest Tesco and grab some.
If you want someone to play in CDM, I think most players have been upgraded on putting Fred can't pass forward or to other people sometimes in there.
Yeah, I think Rice, to be fair, when he's played against us, has been very, very good.
It's not terrible. It's just you expect more for that price.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Real Madrid.
Just want to say, Football Crew show as well. Just about to end it, but thanks for joining. Appreciate it as always. He says Greenwood more better on the. I think I mean much better. More better on the wings than up front. Apparently, there are rumours that he could go to Real Madrid. Got no chance of getting him. I'm not getting my hopes up over these world class players. First of all, I mean, I don't see Greenwood going to Real Madrid potentially in the future, but right now I don't see him going. Is he? Oh, sorry. I thought he meant Greenwood going to Real Madrid there.
Why would Real Madrid want Greenwood?
Oh no, he did say that actually. Sorry, I missed that comment. Apologies, I did miss that. Yeah, I mean, tell you what, Haaland could go Real Madrid. I think, to be fair, my if I had to bet on it, I'd probably go with Man City. I think Haaland could go back to Man City. His dad obviously played for them.
Again. Not again. We don't want another.
I'm just saying, Adam. I'm just saying how it is. That's all I'm saying.
What if somehow Manchester City's owners get arrested for using fake money and then Man City go all automatically down to League 2?
I mean, they've got a lot of lawyers, Man City. That's all I'll say. They've got a lot of lawyers.
They did have a way of getting around financial fair play, and I think that involved money and lawyers.
We don't need to worry about Haaland going to City. If he goes, we can just follow go back. What's Odion Igalo's number, by the way?
Get Igalo back. I mean, he played so much this season. But anyway, I'm going to leave it there, guys. But thank you very much for coming on. Really appreciate it. And thanks to everyone who got in the live chat as well. Make sure if you're still watching to check out Rich's channel, Rich Sports. And also check out Adam Talk Sport as well. And Daz's Football Stand, who is the third guest on the channel. Make sure you check out all those guys. But thanks for watching. I'll see you after the Leicester game. Hopefully with a positive result to discuss. But until then, thanks for watching. And we'll see you guys in a bit. Cheers.